to operate on lines, okay? Which of course is a problem because when you talk about text documents, especially these days, right? When I started working on text documents, line feed used to mean something even on text documents, but obviously now each paragraph is one big line, right? That's how most people. And so, while you change one character in a big paragraph, diff thinks the two are completely different, right? So they are not even, on text documents. If you use diff, it doesn't really work well, right? On programs, because line feeds really mean something, so then diff works very well on those. Okay, so and patches are based on diff, right? So when you have a program and you make a revision to it, make an edit to it, then that edit is described as a diff. Okay, and this diff can be distributed as a patch, so that you don't have to distribute the whole new program. You just distribute the difference, and that not only means you have less to distribute, but also if somebody is applying the patch, it's much easier for them to check whether the patch is going to make whether it's going to interfere with their use of a particular program, right, or not, right? If somebody just gives you, here was a 10,000 line program, and now there are some changes, some unspecified changes in this 10,000 line program, you would be a lot more nervous if you relied on that program for something important. So the other interesting application is in all these version control systems. So when you use Git or SVN or other version control systems, one of the problems is that, okay, people are working on a file simultaneously, right? You make an edit, somebody else makes an edit. Usually these days we don't think about it at all, right? So when when I started working on software, right? So there was this, people were really hung up on locking, right? So everybody will say, oh, I'm working on this, so I'm going to lock this file, and until I commit the version back in, nobody can work on that file, right? I mean, you can imagine how disruptive that can be in today, the way we develop software, right? So what someone clever found out was that you can use diff to allow simultaneous edits, and the idea is actually quite simple, right? So what you do is, so you have a base version, right? And person A performs one edit, and person B performs another edit, right? So what you do is you use the edit distance algorithm to compute the edit sequence that got you here from here, right? So you find out the edit sequence A, and then you find the edit sequence B, right? So when you and now to merge these two edits, what do you have to do? You check under what condition do you think it is reasonable to merge the changes without thinking too much?
When they are on different lines.
So the edit sequences are disjoint, essentially, right? If the edit sequences are disjoint, then you think it's okay to merge. Of course, there's no guarantee, right? But as a practical matter, that seems to work fine. And so, Git and SVN and all of those systems just do that, and since it works so well so often, we don't even think about it. Right? So that's how the edit distance algorithm is used there. Okay, so that's not a summary of the entire dynamic programming section. It's just a summary of this edit distance problem. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll try to finish up in the next lecture, because I don't want to start on some other topic. Let's see. I'm going to add a few more problems to the problem set 3, right? So because you're not submitting it, I have the I'm at liberty to add problems to that set until the middle of next week, right? So I'll add a few problems relating to in sequence, because we did postpone the exam to Monday, so which means that I'll probably end up including up to what we covered today, right? So you still have 10 days lead time, so that should be reasonable for you to study that material. Okay, so let's say that up to here is what would be included for your midterm, right? You saw the message about where and when and so on, right? So we are all set. Any questions? The solutions have been posted, right? So the solution for the second homework have been posted, so you should check that out. And I will of course post the solution to the homework 3 by next Wednesday, right? I want to make sure that you have the time to try to work on those problems. The solutions are there, sometimes it's too tempting to look at them. Okay, very good. So we'll see you next week.